kind of check on LeBron's status. I saw Dave's report that he stayed with the team, and I don't know if there's anything to add, but I just want to check in.
Yeah, it's just it's a high ankle sprain. Those things take a while to heal. They're slow recoveries, and we're preparing for him. For us to be without him. Basically, we're just saying indefinitely. But until we feel like he's ready to be back, our group's got to prepare to win games without him and without AD.
Yeah, and then how about Marc Gasol? You talked about it yesterday a little bit, but is he available to play tonight?
Yeah, no, he's cleared from protocols, but he was pretty wiped out from a conditioning standpoint. So he's not ready to play in games yet. We're going to take it day to day with him, but it's likely he's still going to miss a couple more games.
And then, Frank, so just with that said, what would the plan be in the front court? That's your starting front court, right? LeBron, AD, and Gasol all out. You would use Trez the last time you played against Phoenix there, but you kind of talked to him after the game, right, about how you prefer to keep him off the bench. How do you piece this together in the meantime?
Yeah, for tonight, I'm gonna keep that close to my vest. I'm not gonna release the starting lineup until 30 minutes prior to the game.
All right, thank you. Let's go next to Kyle Goon, please.
Hey, Frank. Do you have a feel for? I've obviously played the one game without LeBron in Sacramento, but do you have a feel for what the style is going to be, how it's going to change? Do you feel like these next couple games are sort of experimental in the sense you're still learning that about this group?
Yeah, well, we're going to look at different things. Like anytime you lose a key guy, there's going to be different ways you can go. And, there'll be a little bit of an adjustment period. But the offensive system remains in place. Our principles remain in place with how we want to play. Overnight you can't change too much. So our guys we'll put the guys that are in there in positions to succeed and, stay within our system.
Okay, next up, Bill Oram, please.
Hey, Frank. I have a very rudimentary understanding of an eversion sprain, which LeBron has. But do you know if, and apparently there is a greater risk of, like bone bruising and the possibility of even like a chipped fibula when that happens. Do you know that those things did not happen, or are you able to add any more context to that sprain?
Yeah, not going to add anything other than a high ankle sprain, and those things are slow recoveries.
Okay, next, Dan Wojcicki, please.
Frank, obviously, yesterday seemed like a pretty tough post game for you. In general, not only with the loss, but with the LeBron news and stuff like that. This team's had to bounce back from a bunch of stuff this year. What gives you confidence that they can continue to do this? Especially, I guess, considering that, maybe there's still some mental toll being felt from everything that happened last year stuff.
Yeah, well, it's all been, the two seasons have blended together with the short off season. We did draw confidence from the adversity that we faced throughout last year that helped us in the playoffs. And, this is the next version of that, different circumstances, of course, but, a lesson that the returning group drew from last year that, these challenges strengthen you throughout the course of the season if you remain together and, will benefit you come playoff time.
Okay, Mark Medina, please.
Hey, Frank, I understand there's an unknown with the timeline, but have you gotten any sense of like what the worst case or best case scenario will be with how long indefinitely is?
Out indefinitely, high ankle sprain. Sorry to be boring. We're going to prepare to play without him until he's back.
Okay, we're going to go back to just a few more follow-ups. We have Bill Oram.
Frank, can you confirm that he's out indefinitely with a high ankle sprain?
That I can confirm. Out indefinitely with a high ankle sprain. Yes.
What I was actually wondering was, obviously the trade deadline this week. Does this injury color at all the kinds of conversations you're having with Rob as opposed to 24 hours ago?
It may. I think it certainly will impact what our mindset is come trade deadline, but I don't know in what way. I haven't had any of those conversations overnight. It's in the mix of a back-to-back. All of your focus is on, what do we got to do to win this game? I'm sure we'll get into deeper conversations in the coming days. But, obviously when you have two key guys that are going to be out, you look at the trade market differently, and you look at obviously the buyout market differently. So, those are conversations that will be had in the coming days.
Okay, Mike Trudell.
Hey, Frank, after tonight's game, you'll have lost, I think, 36 games to your starters, and Phoenix has had a bit more luck on that end. I think it's 8 for them. For Utah, it's 10. Are you, I don't want to say satisfied, but with just where you are production-wise in the standings and all that, just considering that kind of statistic and the amount of games and lineups you've had to go to?
I think our guys, I'm proud of our guys for, competing through difficult circumstances. That's the best way to put it, whether it's the guys being out or the quick turnaround, dealing with the COVID restrictions. Everybody has to manage, all of these things. And, our guys have been troopers with all that stuff and competed through it. You always want to win every game. You always look at the standings and feel like there's a few more you could have won. But, our guys are doing a good job, and we're going to continue to, compete and honor the game the right way and play the game the right way and win as many games as possible during this stretch.
Okay, we're going to do last 2 questions. Kyle Goon, please.
Yeah, Frank, when LeBron missed the Sacramento game, he didn't travel with the team. And I know this is before your time, but, when he was injured with the groin, he didn't travel with the team, I don't believe. What is the value of him coming on this trip, even though he's not going to play? Does it change anything he can do rehab-wise, or was the determination made he can do everything he needs to do on the road?
Yeah, we're still figuring those things out. It was a quick turnaround, back-to-back. We made this decision for him to come. And, I think those decisions will be made, in the coming time frame that he's going to be out. But, obviously there's always benefits with him being around. But I do think, with him going to be out for a while, that there's value in him taking a mental break from this and not grabbing the iPad as much as Anthony likes to grab the iPad and, put guys in different spots. So, I think, that's what we're encouraging him to use this time to take a mental break and recharge a little bit mentally. So that when he comes back, we're into a stretch where we can make a playoff push and make some noise, obviously, in the playoff and go on the type of run that we're hopeful to make all throughout this season.
And just as a point of clarification, was it LeBron's decision? Was it up to him to come to Phoenix?
I think the collaboration between himself, between LeBron and the medical team, is how it was decided.
Okay, last question, Dan Wilkie, please.
Hey, Frank. Actually, sorry, it's 2 quick ones. One, what went into the decision on Damian, after his 10 days to not extend that further? And I guess secondly, you said earlier that, like your principles don't change. But I mean, he is LeBron James, right? Like he's pretty important to what you guys do. How do you play the way you want to play when so much of the way you want to play is built around having the best player, in your opinion, of all time?
Well, it's just a different player executing that stuff. That's all. We still have pick and roll action. We have post action. We have pin down action. We have, split action, movement action. We still want to play with pace and attack before the defense is set. Those are principles that apply to whoever's on the floor. And that's what I refer to when I say that part doesn't change. Now, are we going to run, the same plays for, Dennis Schroeder, Alex Caruso, and Taylor Horton-Tucker that we want to run for Bron? Not always. We're going to tailor things and put them in positions that fit them the best. But the general structure and framework of what we do remains the same.
All right.
Okay. And then DJ, real quick, Frank. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and with DJ, the door's not closed, but we're gonna use this time. There's a window of time here where we're approaching the trade deadline and the buyout market, and we're gonna just maintain our flexibility during this stretch, to see what's ahead of us. But DJ did a good job for us, and the door's not closed.
All right. Thanks so much, Frank.